How much time should I wait?
We're rolling.
We're rolling.
Go.
Boys and girls, welcome back. How we doing? Welcome back to the podcast. I know I've been missing out in action for a while, but it's good that we're back face to face, in person. We can get talking on some big things that's happened so far. Val, how's it going?
Firstly, I want to say we're looking schmick in these kids.
And you know what's funny, right? So he got his kit whenever you got it. When'd you get this?
I got this yesterday, actually.
Yeah?
It came in yesterday. Shout out to Vintage football shirts as well. I'm actually waiting on your boy, football.
Football is culture.
Football is culture.
Give him a follow on Instagram. Yeah, so he got that how long ago? A few days ago. I got this last Thursday. And, of course, we got to have our number 7 on the back, I mean, we all know who the real winner is.
Yeah, Harry Kill.
Yeah. It's cool, mate. It's like Aussie legend, right? But no, I mean, what better way to keep the theme going? We've got a lovely match, 2005, 04, 05 or 05?
It was 04, 05, yeah.
Yeah, it's got that playing in the background. We couldn't find a match which had the exact same kit, but,
We thought we'd go a bit old school today.
Yeah,
But
we're old souls.
But
And,
yeah, no, good days, good memories from the old days. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, man, that's it. So, what's been happening? I'm buzzing.
What's your buzzing, bro?
Number 9, Carabao. Look, you know what's funny? Those Liverpool fans would be like, "Oh, when other teams win it,
They're like, oh, it's just a Carabao Cup, don't worry about it.
It's just
Nothing
a toy
big."
trophy." But whenever we win it, like whatever, it's silverware. I'm happy, but I'm not going to celebrate as if we won the Champions League or the Premier League.
Well, your players did.
Well,
but you know what? I don't blame them because you guys were due for a domestic cup like the FA Cup or something like that. So I don't blame them celebrating like that. And plus, the way you guys won it as well. I mean, it wasn't like a convincing victory, but it was an entertainment game.
It was. I mean, for neutral fans, it was entertaining. But if you're a Liverpool fan or a Chelsea fan, like that was hands down probably the worst 3 hours of my life. 3:30 waking up in the morning, and I got to bed at 7.
I actually watched that game.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I ended up watching the game.
Wow.
Look, football is football, mate.
I've got to watch it.
But it was an entertaining game from a neutral perspective. It was a very entertaining
it was the
game.
worst day of my life until the final whistle.
Until he missed the penalty.
But I think that's how it added the extra celebrations. There was so much emotion that went on in that game, and then in the end, it's like, finally, we finally won it.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a good game. Not a good game. It was just a good victory. Silverware, can't complain. Number 9. But yeah, no, just get in a bit more detail on the game. It was very back and forth. And I've got to say, though, Chelsea, for majority of the game, they were the ones that were more on the front foot. The first 15 minutes of the game, we could not get a pass on at all. Chelsea, how they press and how they lined up their formation. I think they played a 3-4-3. And it's crazy with the 3-4-3 how it just seems like no matter which part of the pitch the ball was at and we had the ball, they would always have 2 against 1 on us with their pressing. But it was, Chelsea were straight from the beginning, first 15 minutes. And then about the 20-25 minute mark, you could see Chelsea slowly starting to decline with their pressing, their intensity. And then we just came back a bit more, became a bit more even later on. But not much. I mean, not much. What am I talking about? A lot happened in the first half. Obviously, that double save with Mendy, that was crazy. That was crazy. And then Pulisic and Mason Mount.
I'm really surprised Chelsea didn't finish you guys off. All right, yes, you guys are Liverpool and all that, but coming from Chelsea, like all those chances missed. I'm still surprised there wasn't that final touch of final finish. You know what I mean? To finish Liverpool off, but that's what football's all about. I mean, I'm reading it here. You guys had more possession at the end, more passes completed, shots 20 to 11. passing accuracy 79% to Chelsea 76. Like it was like you said, beginning it wasn't really good for you guys, but then after that it just slowly became more balanced, and then that's how it led to a penalty shootout.
But yeah, I think for us though, it was a massive loss having Thiago injured through his warm-up.
Yeah.
I think it was a hamstring injury or something. I can't remember what it was specifically. Hopefully you guys can let me know, correct me on that. But you could see how painful that was for Thiago. He couldn't play. He was crying before the kickoff. He was crying.
Warm-up as well.
Yeah, and Alisson was like consoling him and like, oh, whatever. Football happens. It is what it is. You can be fully fit, and then during the pre-game warm-up, you cop an injury and you're done.
Seen it plenty of times. It's sad to say, especially when you're J'd up for the game as well. Like he must have been. I said it to you last time. I reckon if Thiago played, you guys would have won it during normal time.
Yeah, because
he's a big boost.
What I just said before, like in the beginning of the game, we couldn't get a pass on. So I think even though we had more possession at the end of the game, I reckon just the general like feel of being in control of the game.
Yeah.
When you've got Thiago in the midfield, you're going to get that regardless, no matter who you play against. You could play against a freaking prime team. When you've got Thiago in the midfield, I know it probably sounds a bit over-exaggerated, but he's going to control that midfield 100%. But
shout out to my dad in the comments.
Yasu Manoli!
He's a big Liverpool fan as well. And it was funny enough because I was on FaceTime with him when you guys beat us 5-0. And then I had you, but you were all right. You didn't want to give me as much stick. You were just like consulting me every goal that was going in. And then you had my dad next to me that was just giving me shit the whole time. It was a mixed emotion.
Oh, legend. But yeah. I mean, I think there are two main talking points of that game though. And funny enough, they both involve best mate VAR. And this is what people need to really understand, right? The actual VAR concept isn't the problem. It is, and I've said this so many times, it's the idiots behind the screens and the refs and the officials that can't seem to understand like what good calls are these days. And we'll first talk about the Virgil van Dijk incident, which is a load of absolute rubbish, because it was two things involved in one. So it was Van Dijk being offside while he was impeding with with play.
Yeah,
that's a joke. Because if you watch the highlights, if you got time, watch the highlights. Right, he wasn't offside. It's because he's a massive player compared to Reece James. He's gonna look offside, by default, because he's standing right behind you. And if we're going to talk about impeding with play, well, that's a load of bullshit. And it looks like we're frozen. That's a nice shot of me.
I think we're still on now.
Oh, okay, we're back. There we are. So yeah, and then if you watch closely, you see Van Dijk. He did have his arm around him, but that was before the ball even came in.
Yeah.
So he had his arm around him like that. But then Trent whips it in, and Reece James, he was on the move. Yeah. You see him clearly. He was on the move, and Van Dijk let his arm go.
Yeah.
And the offside is bullshit. He wasn't offside. He just looks bigger, so he's gonna look offside.
I think like when it comes to these sort of decisions, and we spoke about it the other day. When it comes to reviewing the play efficient, no matter how long it takes. If you want to make a right call and right decision, then you got to review the play bit by bit. It kind of like brings me to what they do in the NRL as well. I mean, like as soon as they go to the video referee and they're not sure, the referee straight away go up to the bunker.
Yeah.
And they check out, what's going on. And if you see, like, I guarantee you, they play the same play at least 10 times on the screen to view whether or not that was a try or not, or a forward pass, or if they grounded the ball. In football, they go straight to the VAR, and I kid you not, they take at least 2 or 3 looks at it, and they go, oh yeah.
Yeah.
But they still ask questions. They still ask questions to the fourth official, or the VAR, saying, what should I do? because I've seen like it was behind, like they were doing like this behind the scenes thing, and the referee was still confused and saying, should I give it a goal or not? So even then, the VAR, when they look at it, do you think it's an angle problem, camera problem? I personally think it's looking at the play more efficient. That's what was going on with the Van Dijk situation. Even with the handball with Man City Everton. I mean, that was a blatant handball. I don't know, like
joke.
How that was not a handball.
That's got nothing to do with angle or anything else. That is just pure.
It's pure
corruption.
Either pure corruption or pure laziness by the official. I mean, it's not even if you didn't even need to go to the VAR for that. I mean, you can clearly see it hit his hand. Yeah. And I'm not making up excuses now because of the Middlesbrough United game. I'm pretty much saying like the goal that Middlesbrough scored was a handball, and then people are coming out and saying, yeah, but he wasn't the goal scorer, so that doesn't count. Hang on a second. We don't play with our hands. We kick the ball with our feet. You
score goals with your freaking feet. So unless if it's a shoulder, which is the closest thing to a hand, and that doesn't count as a handball.
Didn't even go to. It was right here.
Exactly.
Even with the Everton City, it was right here. So I really don't understand these officials, and something needs to be done because that's how football gets ruined. Yeah. Because if you don't use the VAR, if you've got the VAR, use it properly.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be something that's used where it makes everything a fair game. Like all the goals that have been scored, all the decisions, like disciplinary stuff, it's to ensure that a football game is 100% fair and square. And it's nothing to do with the actual VAR. It's the officials behind it that have got no clue, right? And back to the game, right? We were talking about angles and how many times it gets replayed on the fucking screen, right? Pardon my language. The ref took 2 seconds, 2 looks, and it was the exact same angle, and it was the angle where it's like far out, and it was behind Van Dijk.
That was probably like one of the worst angles to look at. I mean, if you're going to be a referee and look at the VAR, at least open up the play and go, listen, I want to give me that on a different angle. I want to see that on a different
least
camera
3 angles,
because each angle shows something different.
Yeah,
that angle that he looked at clearly showed that it was apparently it was
and it was in slow motion as well. So it obviously looks like that Reece James took longer than he would have wanted to track back and defend the Sadio Mane header. Look, it's a joke. I saw that, and I was talking to one of my friends at work and one of my boys, Tarek, massive Liverpool fans. Like we're messaging on Instagram, thinking, "What the hell was that?"
Yeah.
Like we've all seen bad VAR decisions in the last how many seasons it's been going. But for me, obviously, I'm going to say it for me as a Liverpool fan, in a massive game like that, a final, you don't make stupid decisions like that. You don't do that.
No.
Oh.
It just like I said before, it ruins the game. Like if you're going to use a VAR, use it properly. You've got cameras, you've got the angles. All right, I think we're back.
All right, sorry about that. Something just cut out.
I think it's the rain, bro. It's been raining for days.
Yeah.
Honestly. Connection's so bad.
Yeah, sorry.
But anyway,
guys.
As I was saying, it ruins the game because, like I said before, if you're going to use the VAR, use it properly. You've got, like I said before, you've got the cameras, you've got the angles, you've got people up in the box. Ask for different angles. Say, I want to check out this angle. I want to check out that angle. Give me this camera angle. Stuff like that. If you're going to be a proper referee and you're going to show what refereeing is all about and not be corrupt about it, then do your job properly. And I think that's destroyed, obviously, Everton, because you don't know this decision that happened against City, that one vital point could be costing him and it could be sending him down to relegation.
Yeah.
So it's very hard. It's very hard right now.
And that can be another thing to Man City win the league, because when they played against Wolves last week, Moutinho hit him underneath the armpit. you can't move your armpit, can you? But you can move your hand, right? Hit him right here, and easy decision, handball, done. It's a joke. And then the second big talking point of that game was Lukaku when he scored. He made a good run. He put his arm forward to say, like, I want the through ball. And offside. Just because of his arm. But his whole body was behind, I think it was Van Dijk or Matip that he was in line with.
I don't, personally, I'm not a really big fan of, just offside with, let's say, a fingertip and all that. I personally think if your whole body's offside, then your whole body's offside.
It should be.
I don't like this new thing about even if it's like a fingertip offside. Come on.
You know what it should be?
If you're trying to perfect an offside, get your decisions right first with handballs, then perfect an offside.
Because it should be you have the two lines. So the first line is the last defender, and then the second line is obviously the person making the run. That line should cut through the middle of the body. Perfect.
Yeah.
You can clearly see who's behind who, or who ran a bit too late. The line's in the middle of the body, and simple decisions, man. But look, people don't want to. People they try too hard in football to make all these little rules and all these little detailed stuff. Anyway, it's frustrating. But hey, at least if they're gonna be stupid with the Van Dijk call, then they have to keep it consistent and make another stupid call for Lukaku just to keep it equal, Because imagine the riots, but all the backlash.
Yeah.
They give Lukaku's thing, but don't give us our goal. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Knowing Liverpool fans.
Especially Scousers and all that. But no, regardless of that, if you're a Scouser or even if you're a United supporter, an Arsenal supporter, decisions like that shouldn't be tolerated. We've got the technology, and we're still getting it wrong. That's what pisses me off.
It's becoming worse.
We've got the facilities, we've got the technology, we've got everything in football, every camera angle, and you're still getting it wrong. That's what's annoying me. And I personally think that this has been done on purpose, especially the Everton Man City game. Regardless of that, yes, I'm a United supporter, but if someone's going to win the league fairly.
Yeah.
All right, let's say City's going to win the league. If they're going to win fair and square, that's it. But I want a coach to come out like Guardiola to start making up excuses and to start denying that was not a handball.
He was saying it was offside beforehand. What?
And I checked the camera angle beforehand. It wasn't offside. It had nothing to do with that. So I don't know. Honestly, when I say stuff like that, it's a massive turn off for football. Because you want a clean football, you want to see a clean match, but look, there's corruption everywhere, and we've seen it firsthand.
Yeah. Well, look, obviously, when you win the trophy, you're going to forget about the whole thing. I do not want to remember that game for the rest of my life. I just want to have the silverware. That's about it. That's what matters in the end.
Done and dusted now.
Done and dusted. Get rid of it. They definitely need to improve on that, along with a lot of things with VAR. But it is.
I don't think it will change.
Well, these officials need a bloody back check, background check.
It's the same officials all the time. I mean, if you see like back then it was Clattenburg and remember those referees. Yeah. But now it's your usual referees that always get it wrong. And like I said before, you've got everything in front of you. Why get it wrong? You've got people to help you. It's not like you're by yourself. Look at the cameras. Look at every camera angle. So that's what's annoying me now. And, either they improve it now and they're going to lose a lot of people when it comes to football fans and all that.
Yeah, man. Well, look, that's done and dusted. Thank God. Obviously, like Liverpool, we've got 3 more trophies to go for. Hopefully we stay consistent, not have too many injuries, not in our first team, but also for our depth.
You guys got 1 game in hand as well.
Yes, so
26 games. So City's got 27, we've got 27, Chelsea's got 25, I think.
Consistency is key for us at this moment.
So right now, you guys are in a very, very good position. You're putting pressure on City. At the same time, you're in a good Champions League spot. who knows who you're going to get next in this Champions League.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you guys will do well. But
Oh,
so far, so good. Like I said, look, I praise Liverpool for the season that they've had this year. From a neutral perspective, like, it doesn't matter if I'm a United supporter, like football in general, like, you praise teams that are doing well, and Klopp's doing well with the team. But it's still early. I wouldn't say still early, but like,
there's still a lot to do.
Yeah,
there's still a lot to do. We still got for us. We've got 3 competitions.
Like Yianni said before, like, if you keep up that consistency, no injuries as well, because injuries play a big part.
Yeah.
Now that the AFCON is done, now that all the, I think the international games are pretty much complete up until the World Cup coming up. But yeah, I think it's just focusing on domestic and European football now for Liverpool. But props to them. So
next up, man, what have you got for us?
I want to talk about Bielsa and him getting sacked. Obviously, he's been at the club for a very long time. He's established, and I've spoken to a couple of Leeds fans as well. He's structured the club so well ever since he started. He took him to promotion. He's been getting him good spots. Obviously, last couple of months hasn't been perfect for him. But I think his time was out. It's
so disappointing for me. It's really
disappointing. Even the Leeds fans are disappointed as well. Like, you see such a amazing manager. He's done so much in his career, and to restructure Leeds like that and give him a pathway now. Hopefully, let's see if what's his name, Jesse Marsh or something like that. He's an American coach. Let's see how he does and he structures the team, because right now Bielsa had a style of play. So obviously a new manager's come in and he's going to introduce his style of play. So it's going to be very difficult for Leeds to come back for this.
Don't trust an American.
That's right. Yeah. No. Like, you don't know with these American coaches. Like, name me one American coach that succeeded in the Premier League.
I don't know any American coach.
Apart from the international coach that was with the USA national team.
Yeah.
I forgot his name.
But anyway, look, with Leeds, I think I was really excited to see Leeds come in to the Premier League, especially last year, obviously, when they came in. They were such a breath of fresh air, man. And seeing how Leeds play with their high-intensity pressing and their, there was this crazy start, right? And it was a graph, and the start was most sprints, like most runs. And I think it was an average between all the players, the whole starting 11. Sorry. And I think Liverpool was second.
Yeah.
And Leeds were first, but they were up by so much. And look, the main thing for me is how the second season you're in the league, you had a really good first season. I think they came 9th last season.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I said, breath of fresh air, new style, new kind of play, and no one was used to them. Now the second season comes in, and if I was a manager, I'd think to myself, right, this is the Premier League, and Premier Leagues are going to find you out. So you have to be evolving. Obviously, still keep your base style, structure, tactics, and that, but you do need to make tweaks. And for what I think is, he was still very. He just kept it the same with all these, with the intense pressing and that, but it wasn't the difference between Leeds and, let's say, Liverpool, the other pressing team, right? We have a structured pressing style tactic, whereas with them it was quite erratic and a lot of the players just running everywhere. But they're just so fit they don't stop. Teams find that out. They're going to find you out, whether it'll take 3 games in the new season or 10 games, whatever it is. And then I think that's just what it is. And the disappointing thing is how Bielsa didn't change anything. I think he just kept it the exact same since the start of this season. But I
think it was scared to change as well, because he's so used to his tactics. He doesn't want to change it up. And I sort of understand where he's coming from, but at the same time, when you see results like 3-0 to Everton, 4-2 to United, I thought we were going to lose that game. But anyway, to 6-0 to Leeds. 6-0 to Liverpool. 4-0 the week after to Tottenham. Then you got Leicester coming up on Saturday. Like the results were hounding him down. Like there were results that the board looked at and go, right, this isn't the Bielsa we know.
Yeah,
something is up. We need a change. And I'm not saying like he's done bad. Like look what he's done for Leeds. Like he's done so much for Leeds, but I think it was a time for a change. Like there's certain, even in life in general, like when you see something's not working out, it's time for a change. You know what I mean? But no, I feel bad for him because he's done so much for Leeds, but we'll see what this Jesse Marshall is going to do. So,
because you know what it is, you can have the exact same style and use that style every single season if you're still in the championship, because the championship is a lot less quality teams, less quality players, and quality managers that are gonna obviously research you and study your style, and go, all right, now we know what to do. It's like, it takes a lot of work, but if you think about it briefly, it's not that hard to play against Leeds. All you have to really do is just show composure, because they're going to press and press and press and press. Also match their fitness as well. And I think that's how Liverpool smacked them up 6-0. All we had to do was show a bit of composure, match their fitness, and we put 6 past them, and we put 2 past them in the last 5 minutes of stoppage time.
Yeah, I think that last 2 was just Leeds pretty much
Just
saying that.
Yeah, I just given up. And teams like Man City, Chelsea, all these other top quality teams with players and good managers, they're gonna find you out. And I don't think, because Bielsa got some quality players coming in as well for this season.
It's not like Leeds don't have bad players. Leeds do have good players, but I think it's just his style of play was just getting run down too much. I think a lot of the Premier League teams, like you said before, have noticed what his style is all about, and they're like, right, we're gonna focus on that. You know what I mean? And shut his style down, and it worked out perfectly. But look, we'll see what comes up with Leeds now. I don't know what they're coming on the ladder. Look, they're not safe. I can tell you that.
Yeah, that's pretty.
They're going, like, it looks like they're gonna.
Just give me a sec, bro.
Hopefully not going down. Leeds got 23 points. Everton has 22. Burnley has 21. Watford with 19 points, and Norwich, of course, is going down. So I think obviously Watford and Norwich are going down. And then I think the battle's going to be between Leeds, Everton, and Burnley, possibly Brentford as well. But I don't see Brentford going down.
Quick question. Like, we're not going to move into a new topic on this question, but I just want to quickly ask you, are Norwich the most annoying team England has ever seen?
Bro, yeah.
They are so annoying.
These guys are like, how do I explain it without being rude?
Who cares? It's Norwich. Who cares? Let's be rude.
They're just like, I don't know. You know how you go window shopping and just go into a shop and come back out again? That's pretty much Norwich City. These guys are the window shoppers of the Premier League. Like, one year they get relegated, the other year they stay in the Premier League. But it's just it's just Norwich, bro. I can't really say much about Norwich. I don't know much about them, but it's very difficult right now for those sort of teams. And I think when it comes down to like financial stability as well for the clubs, like it's quality signings that they get. You know what I mean?
Sorry, guys, I accidentally got out of the bloody game. I was trying to put the brightness down a bit, but there we go, we're back. Skulls.
Just an update, guys. We're 1-0 up against Liverpool. This is a live game, by the way.
Yeah, it's live here. We're just time travelers. Like Keno with that.
George, how you going, mate? Norwich going up and down more than Lisa and.
I mean, I would laugh if I knew who Lisa Ann is. Oh.
Yeah.
All right, just give me a second, boys. I'm gonna go in my room.
Nah, that was a loud clap.
That was sorry.
My ears. Nah. Like I said, Norwich is a very window shopping team. We'll call them the window shoppers of the Premier League.
Window
That's
shopping.
it. That's their nickname. Window shoppers.
Window Shop United.
Window Shop United.
Oh wow.
I want to bring something up here, and it's got to do with the owners of clubs. I know we've spoken about this for a long time now, and I've been watching some podcasts, like some other podcasts as well, and like just getting their ideas and their thoughts about it. And what I've noticed now, and I'm sure every other club, and I'm sure you've noticed as well, that each club now, whether it's United, Liverpool, City, Chelsea, we don't consider these clubs anymore. We consider them brands.
Yeah.
It's really sad to see that as well from a United sort of, point of view, like United fans view. Even like George would agree with me as well. Like it's become a brand because back then, obviously, there wasn't as much money as it's flowing now.
Yeah.
But it's sad to see because now, like even the players, it looks like they don't care. They don't care for playing for the jersey. And obviously, I'll give you an example. I'll give you for United's example. These guys, as players, once something goes wrong and once the media and once all the fans start catching up to what's going on, each and every player starts backing each other up. It's like they're saying, right, they're talking crap about us. No matter if they're right or wrong, we have to back each other up.
Yeah.
And it's like they're going against the fans and not saying, right, we totally agree with you and we need to sort this stuff out. Because every week, and I've said it to the boys and I've said it to you, I've said to anyone that I've spoken about this, when it comes to games, like after the games, like let's say we lose a game, it's the same script every time.
Yeah.
Not good enough. We apologize to the fans. This was not good enough. Blah blah blah.
Not good enough. Like
every week,
if I had $1 for every time I heard people say not good enough,
I'd be
living in bloody Vaucluse, Double Bay.
Yeah, no.
In a mansion.
It's like the same old script, and it's like they're playing us. They don't care. I mean, these guys are bagging for 350k, 400k a week. Sorry, not a year, a week.
Imagine that, a year. They'd be working a lot harder if it was that amount per year.
Yeah, and
salary.
You can see the difference now between, and I'll call him humble, when it comes to Anthony Elanga. He is a very humble player. He's 19 years of age, and look what he's done so far for United. He's scored goals. He's showed passion for the team. When it comes to players like, obviously, my best mate, Maguire, the bloke, it's like they do it on purpose. And I personally have a feeling that the board is doing this on purpose because they know they've stuffed up with that 80 million tag price that they gave him. And they're trying to cover their ass and say, you know what, we'll keep on giving Maguire game time because 80 million, we're going to look like a laughing stock if we bench him. And I personally think that every coach that has come in now that have said, the board have approached him and said, listen, just keep Maguire on. No matter what he does, keep him on.
That I don't know if you guys watch them. It's a really good little series they do from Lad Bible, the Agree to Disagree. There was an episode with James, a Liverpool fan, and KG, the United fan.
Yeah.
And the question was, Liverpool centre-backs are better than United centre-backs? The KG bloke, I think he's related to Ty from AFTV, the biggest delusional idiot. All right,
he's so delusional.
So delusional, right? And the KG was saying, "Oh, don't diss Maguire. Don't. I've got to back my captain." And then James said, and literally what you just said now, he said, "You have to play him because things like you have him because it costs 80 million pounds, and you have to play him."
Yeah.
You have to play him.
Yeah. Even with the whole Maguire situation, like we said before, we have to play him. Why? Because we put an 80 million price tag on him for a player that's not even worth 5 million. I mean, if you see his performance over the last couple of months, and I don't know how, I know how, because obviously he's price tag and they have to play him. But at the same time, the fans are realizing this and they're saying, right, hang on a second. This guy is playing crap. Yet when Sancho plays good, you bench him. Like it's very confusing, very confusing. But
I think a lot of that is down to the managers as well. Because Solskjaer, he had nowhere near enough experience to coach United, and he was just
he wasn't even coaching.
Sticking to Maguire because he's probably his best mate behind the scenes. But even your current manager Rangnick,
he wasn't even controlling the team. It was what's his name? He left for Ipswich. So yeah, I forgot his name. That's how much I don't really care about those people that were running the club, because those guys are so bad. It was Mike Phelan. I think he's still at the club. Fletcher. McKenna. McKenna was the main guy that was, sorting out the training sessions. I don't know what Ollie was doing. Like, apparently Ollie was making the final decisions. But
quickly from George, not just Maguire, they do the same thing with Rashford. No way the board lets him get benched with all the charity work he does.
Yeah, of course. It's as our good friend Mark Aldridge says, social media FC. Straight away in the training sessions, you can see them posting photos like that, saying winning team and all that.
Winning team, Maguire will be like that, Matic will be like that.
Like it's man, like that.
Watch so that cringe. Clip from Mark Goldbridge. Oh, what an absolute
shout out United stand as well. Fucking big
boo.
No, shout out Redman TV. Why?
Yeah, of course.
Shout out to all the UK channels as well. Like,
UK scene.
Without I could say it right now, without them we wouldn't have been doing this right now. Yeah, exactly. Like we wouldn't have that passion that these guys have given us. Yeah, inspiration as well. So shout out to Flex, United Stand, and everyone.
Yeah. What's it called? Can I ask you something quickly? Because you mentioned before how like football nowadays is all about brand, and big teams have just become brands pretty much. Just quickly, Big Peter, love you, Peter. Yes, the boys.
Hopefully we'll see you soon, Peter.
Yeah, man, come up. And I spoke to George about this last week when we were together, we were out. And the whole, we've lived in a football world now for the last 20 years, mainly in England between Liverpool United, who's been the bigger club, you or us. Obviously, for a long time, it's been you because of your success and, iconic brand club and that. And, there is, look, for me, there are a lot of reasons, but there are reasons to why I think we're bigger and there are reasons to why you're bigger. But disregarding the football itself, like I said, the success, your players and your managers that we've had, that we've both had, both had good players and managers. The other main reason to why you guys have been biggest club in England for a while is your brand and your how you've got that allure in the club where players come in, and then a lot of that has got to do with money. You're a money generator.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
but
we're in the stock market.
But leading up to the last 6 years, all those reasons have been reasons to why you've been the biggest, because you've had the success to back it up, right? So these reasons now with the brand and all that, would you say that would you consider?
No,
triggered, right?
No, I don't get it. No.
Would you consider that Liverpool now are the biggest club because of these reasons that you, United fans, speak of, are your downfall?
Yeah, I could say that. I could say right now Liverpool is the bigger club than United.
Because I'll just say one more thing quickly. And I'm not saying because of the success, the trophies. Yeah, we've got more trophies, but how we've been the biggest club is that we never had those reasons of the branding and the stock market, whatever you want to call it, the money generator. Yeah, we've had money coming in because of success we've had, over the last how many years. But the only time that we have never been, we weren't the bigger club than you, is because we were just not good enough with players. We've had not good managers, and we haven't had any success to back it up. But for me, it's we've, obviously the iconic saying that we have and the message that we, share across the world, that you'll never walk alone. At least fucking millions and billions of people, they know that saying. But with you, what do you think?
I think it's different. It's different when it comes to United and Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool have their own history. Like they've been brought up. I just dropped the water. Anyways, it's raining anyway. Don't worry about it.
That was going to be
The thing is, I think, look, like Liverpool and United have different histories between themselves. Obviously, Liverpool has the "You'll never walk alone" saying, and obviously United with the branding and the historic like moments that we've had as well. Don't get me wrong, Liverpool have had historic moments, but I don't think it has been the same as United. Like when it comes to successful games, clinching titles back to back, trebles. It's been a different. Liverpool and United have taken a different avenue, a different historical sort of approach to it. Like obviously, like I said before, the "You'll never walk alone." That's all right. We're back.
There we are.
All right. So as I was saying, like,
so I think it's just I honestly think it's just the rain.
Yeah,
it's just been like stuffing up with the connection and all that stuff.
So whoever's from Sydney, you guys know what's going on right now with the weather. It is actually shocking right now, and the reception's very bad. But look, like I said before, I think it comes down to two teams have different histories. Liverpool, like I said before, that "You'll never walk alone." But I think when it comes to success, obviously we've been successful in ever since Sir Alex has come. We've had that massive success.
The most successful period of English football history.
Yeah, English football history. You guys have obviously had success in the past as well. And like I think it was building up to now, the last couple of years, you guys have been the bigger club than us. Yes, we've beaten you guys here and there in games, but when it comes to trophies and all that, you guys have had more success than us. United will always be a bigger team. Wait for it, because the only thing that's making us bigger is the name and the brand that we have. We have decided, obviously United have decided to make United into not just a football club, but into a massive worldwide brand. That's why when you hear the name Manchester United, it's worldwide. No matter if you're not a football fan. Yes, people are going to hear Liverpool, but once you see Manchester United, people even in America or wherever they go, oh, that's where Ronaldo played.
Yeah.
You know, it's the players we bought as well in there. Like we've got Cantona, we had Ronaldo, prime Ronaldo.
That's where Ronaldo started. That starting 11. You know, I 100% agree with that. And don't think for one second that your success over the last 20 years has been tarnished with your whole branding and that. Like, don't get me wrong, you've had your, moments of pure hard work. And like just your midfield, Roy Keane, he's never for one second thought, I'm a big man, I'm bigger than the club. No. Like Scholes, you name it, the whole thing, right? So we've had similar like stories of success where it stemmed from pure hard work.
Yeah.
And rising from the bottom to the top. I get that. But when you said before with branding, like you guys are a bigger brand, it's your downfall now. For the last 6 years, United being the big brand has been the downfall because you've been looking at it as a brand. You've been a massive club, but I think how your board and your owners and that whatever, I think they've completely mixed around the definition of a big club and the definition of a brand.
And they don't know what a football club. They don't know how to run a football club. Simple as that. We have owners that don't know how to run a football club. I mean, look at what we've done over the last couple of years. Look at the success that you guys have had. You guys have focused on football on the pitch. We focus more of things off the pitch.
Yeah.
The reason why, and I'll say this again, the reason why we got Ronaldo is because of the brand as well.
Yeah.
Yes, we were like this scared that City were going to clinch him. But no doubt in my mind that Ronaldo didn't want to go to City. He did not want to go to City. First of all, he doesn't get along with Pep Guardiola. He wouldn't be getting along with Pep Guardiola, and guarantee he wouldn't last 6 months in Man City.
That push.
Not because of his start, like the team around him, but because of the manager that City have.
Yeah.
Regardless of that push that he gave, I don't think those two would have suited. But look, let's read what George says. He says it depends what you define as bigger. By commercial value and global appeal, it's United by a mile. But if you're looking at recent success and management of a club, then it's Liverpool. I agree with that. Liverpool has been, ever since Klopp has come in, he's shown what he wanted, and he set a target right from the get-go. And what did he say? He said in 3 years' time, from then, 3-4 years' time, we're going to clinch. 4 years, we're going to clinch the Premier League.
Well, yeah, I think he said 4 years we'll win a title. I think he said, I know he said the title, like the Premier League.
I think
title,
he said,
but whatever.
Premier
4
League.
years later, we won the Champions League. So
anyway, look, that's true. I'll take the Champions League as well.
Okay.
And then he goes, the downfall isn't being a global brand. The downfall is the people in charge, not delegating football responsibilities to football people.
But
yeah,
look,
I agree.
I agree with that. If he said that 15 years ago.
What do you mean?
Because the downfall isn't being a global brand. You guys were a global brand 15 years ago, right? But how
So
it was
a
how
global
did
brand,
you guys what's it called? How did you guys come across that?
We were a global brand as let's say like the Glazers came in 06, I think. Before that, we were a global brand, but we didn't have that global recognition as what the Glazers have gave us now. So the Glazers.
But that was a downfall, though.
That was the time where even Man United supporters came out and said this is very bad, and that's why FC United of Manchester was created, because they didn't want that big commercial and those big owners to come in. That was, for me, that was what kicked off United's, I would say, downfall. Yes, we did have success in 08 in the Champions League. Yes, we were winning Premier Leagues after that. But at the same time, it falls to the same category as when Sir Alex left. We had that. We were so comfortable with Sir Alex for 26 years. You know, yes, there were times when, like 2001, 2002, that Sir Alex was going to get the sack.
Yeah.
Because of our performances earlier in the season. And all the media were coming out saying it could be Sir Alex's last game, blah, blah, blah. And he turned that around and he ended up finishing off in 2012, 2013.
With the league. Yeah.
With the league as well. It just goes to show, like, our club right now is a shambles. The owners, like George said before, the responsibilities have been given to people that don't know a thing about football. We've got coaches now that are not experienced enough, except Ranić, the coaches that are with him. The club needs to be refreshed completely. The club needs to. It's just a fresh start. Obviously, when Ollie left, we was going to say fresh start. All the players get a zero, and we start again.
Yeah.
Now we're starting to get more toxic. The players are not liking the coaching, apparently. Leaks are coming out through the dressing rooms. Stuff like that. When you hear stuff like that, and the fans go, "Oh crap, here we go," it shows on the pitch as well. You know.
Another thing George said. If Liverpool don't replace Klopp with a strong, suitable manager, Liverpool fans will be talking about FSG the same way United fans talk about the Glazers. That is very true.
Klopp's got 2 more years, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's off in 2024, and then Gerrard's contract with Villa, I think, ends in 2024 as well.
Question about that: Are you confident about Gerrard coming to Liverpool?
Confident,
with his time now with Aston Villa, and I was watching the True Geordie and it was the other boys, the kickoff, the early, or whatever it's called, the kickoff, and they said that I think one of the boys were like, how crap Aston Villa is right now with Gerrard, like they were very like this with Aston Villa. I don't know, it's difficult to say. Like,
it is difficult, and I'm not going to sit here and
look. Don't get me wrong. Gerrard's a hell of a manager.
Yeah.
He's done so. Look what he did with Rangers.
Yeah.
I personally think if Gerrard joins Liverpool, if FSG give him that backing and give him those players that he wants, and until then 2 years' time, you don't know who's going to come out.
Yeah.
A new superstar might come out. You might not even have Salah or Mane bet until then.
No, they'll be what, 33, 32? Yeah.
So it's very hard to look at, but
if Steven Gerrard doesn't come in when he comes to Liverpool and puts his foot down and says, I want this, I want that, and doesn't have the owners getting involved as they would do, then it can go well. It will definitely take so much time. I reckon if he comes in, give him, I reckon, similar amount to Club, maybe even a bit more, because there's Klopp had so much more years of experience before he came to Liverpool, and his career has always gone upwards. And you can kind of say the same thing with Gerrard, because he's having a bit of a moment with Villa, and it's not going as good, but he has his base style of the game and his formation, everything, and he's got his players. Look, I'm not going to sit here and be romantic and dramatic and be like, oh, Gerrard to Liverpool,
reunion.
Yeah, it's a marriage.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like that, because at the end of the day, yes, Gerrard is Mr. Liverpool, but he's not bigger than Liverpool. So definitely has to give him time with that. Thoughts on Ronaldo at the moment?
I'll join JPS.
Yeah, so thoughts on yourself? What do you think?
Look, I think a lot of the fans now have been, even Opta Sport. I don't know if you saw this post on Opta Sport when they said something about Ronaldo. Actually, I'll pull it up. It was the most stupid thing that I read.
Was it the 55% of United fans? Yeah.
So it came. Opta Sport came out, and this is the thing about mainstream
media,
and mainstream journalism, is they're trying to stir the pot all the time with with football in general. So it says here 55% of Manchester United fans don't want Ronaldo at the club next season. First of all, you haven't done a survey. You haven't asked the supporters yourselves. You're just pretty much speaking crap. The players are backing up Ronaldo because he's the reason why we're in the Champions League. The success that we've had so far and the goals that we've, like I said, with the Champions League, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have been in the Champions League right now. We wouldn't have been playing Atletico Madrid. Yes, he's had some shocking games, but at the same time, he hasn't had the support around him to actually, to show what he has, you know what I mean? To show the real Ronaldo. I think it goes to show that once you have people around you, it's a team. He has no one to cross the ball in. Who crosses it in? I mean, if you saw last game when Fernandes was going to pass, he didn't even pass. He went for it himself. Yeah. Selfishness like that. Yeah. And to people to say that Ronaldo's at fault, Ronaldo has every right to be angry. Why? Because he hasn't got a team around him. He has bits and pieces. He's got Sancho, yes, Fernandes and all that, but he hasn't got a proper team around him to support him. Look what he did at Juventus. He had players around him. He had Dybala, he had Cuadrado. He had players around him.
Solid midfield, solid defense.
Solid midfield, solid defense. Here with United, we don't even have a good United. A good United. I could say we don't have a good United. Anyway, we don't have good defense. We don't have a good mid. It's shocking. It's shocking for us to see. And then George says, to all those who want Ronaldo gone, who would you play instead? Cavani is always injured. Martial is on loan. Greenwood could be in jail. And Rashford don't even start on him. And then Gotcho goes to 2022 winners of UCL Premier League this season predictions.
Okay, we'll answer that a bit later on. I obviously very much dislike United, but I love Ronaldo. I've loved Ronaldo for years. I think what he is as a player, when you think of the icon of fitness, you think of Ronaldo. When you think of the icon of mentality and attitude, you think of Ronaldo, right? Yes, right now he's not at his peak physicality because although he's 37 right now. But what was the main reason for him joining the club was to bring that mentality, that attitude, and not only that, the united mentality and the united attitude, because he only freaking did it how many years ago, and he's a legend.
Yeah,
one of the best players in the Premier League's ever seen. What do you expect from him? You expect him to do everything. He can't even get a header on the ball because
he hasn't got a proper cross.
What was the last game he played? It was 3 crosses in a row. Yeah, that just went full over. Was it? I thought
the guy's not 3 meters tall.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to send a cross instead of proper crossing, then you'll get onto that header.
Yeah.
He knows how to get headers in. He knows how to score a header. Like he's very good at obviously scoring headers, but
his last season at Juventus, when he was 35, he jumped 2 meters.
I mean, look at the scissor kick that he did against Juventus when he was at Madrid.
It was like 32, but still,
Doesn't
matter. It's Ronaldo. The second I hear people say Ronaldo's at fault, and then people start talking.
I think it's just all banter. I think it's all like all the trolls that don't like United.
No.
I mean, we're the most hated. I personally think we're the most hated team. We're the most trolled team in the world.
I don't say hated, but we love you right now. We don't hate you.
But in general, like a lot of people go, like every time even I go out, I cop crap for United. They go, what's going on with United? But at the same time, when we were succeeding, you guys were nowhere to be seen. Arsenal was nowhere to be seen. City was nowhere to be seen. Chelsea was nowhere to be seen. So it's every time the United goes bad or one game, like we cop crap straight away. Little do people know that we dominated England for a very long time. So a lot of people need to keep their voices heard, like voices down.
Yeah.
And, I respect Liverpool for what they've done in the last couple of years, ever since Klopp has come. He's structured a team. Yes, it took a while, but, to settle in.
Things take time.
But look what he's done now. He's won a Champions League, he's won a Premier League, and he's won the Carabao Cup.
My favorite is when people start bringing in XG, like expected goals, expected assists. There was this one video I saw on TikTok, and it was just like a voiceover of a podcast. I don't know which podcast it was, but it was in the UK. And someone said that, Ronaldo was a bad decision coming in. And then he started bringing up Fernandes, Rashford's, whatever, their XG goals and assists pre and post Ronaldo coming in. Okay. I'm like, are you going to seriously
So let me give you
nitpick
something.
Stupid shit like that?
That's what they do. That's what trolls do. They nitpick and they go, Ronaldo this, Ronaldo that. And shout out to Anthony for that, because he always tags me in posts. Like whenever Ronaldo does one bad pass, he tags me in it and gives me shit and says Messi is the Don.
Who do you support, Anthony?
Anyway,
that's
but look, it just goes to show that those trolls need to be just ignored. They don't know crap about football. It's right now for Ronaldo. If he's got a good team around him, he'll do well. If he doesn't have a good team around him, and a lot of the players in the dressing rooms do not like Ronaldo right now, and I can tell you that for a fact. They do not like Ronaldo now. And I heard it from Goldbridge. I've heard it from other outlets as well. They do not like Ronaldo. Why? Because of his attitude. And I don't blame him for being angry. I don't blame him for having that, I don't give a crap about attitude anymore. Why? Because he's given it for the club and he's got nothing to prove. He's here to pretty much structure the youth and pretty much give them a path of going, this is the United way. This is what you're meant to do. If you don't want to listen, then
piss off.
Go to another club.
Yeah.
Because Man United isn't a Norwich City. Man United isn't an Ipswich Town. This is Manchester United. This is a football club that has established history throughout the years. We're not a kick around club. Yes, we've been a kick around club for about 3-4 years now, more, 6 years. Well, ever since Sir Alex left. But it's a team that you need to respect, and the amount of times, I give banter as well to Liverpool, but at the same time, I give them respect at the same time, like back. Why? Because of the success that they've had. Why? Because of the players that they've brought in. I've respected so many players. Red Gerrard, Marco could say Morientes as well. He was a legend. Matip. I could say Matip as well. Why? Matip has given it for the club as well. Van Dijk, Mane, Salah, all these players that have come out throughout the years of Liverpool, I respect them. There's a difference between hate Yes, it's because of that rivalry that Liverpool and United have.
It's just the badge against the badge.
It's the badge against the badge. But when it comes to quality players, quality managers, what both teams have succeeded over the last couple of years, we give that respect back to each other. Why? Because we're respectful clubs and we're the most elite clubs in the top.
Hands down, full stop.
I'm not just because he's my mate and he's wearing Liverpool. It doesn't matter. I do hate Liverpool, but it's that rivalry sort of thing. But at the same time, like I said, I give that respect back to the club. But to those trolls that troll Ronaldo saying that he's hopeless and he's done and he's finished, just go back to supporting West Brom. I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much. We'll do this for a little bit more. Kocho said 2022 winners of UCL Premier League this season. We'll end it on this. We'll say a few predictions. What do you think? You want to go first?
I want to read George's comment. Dream scenario: West Ham win Europa League, United win Champions League, and Arsenal finish fourth, but still miss out on Champions League since only 5 teams from one country can play Champions League. I'm gonna say that would be the funniest scenario as well.
Ever.
Imagine seeing that. But anyway,
AFTV would go mental, fam.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They would go mental, bro.
They're always happy with 4th spot anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
They're used to it. My predictions are for the Europa League. I think Barca's going to win it. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Since when have we ever heard that sentence in our life?
Barca's
going to win the Europa League.
I think Xavi's done well.
Oh my god!
Sad to see that my Italian team Napoli getting knocked out. But I think Barca's going to win that. I think Xavi's established a world team now. I think they're going to do well, and it's the Europa League. So if they don't win that, then
that's pure embarrassment.
Champions League, it's going to be a very difficult one. But you know what? As much as I hate saying it, the confidence that this team has now and the role that they're at and the squad that they have, I'm saying Liverpool's going to win the Champions League.
And it was so funny because when we did our very first podcast episode,
I said Madrid Bayern final, but but when I added it, I said anything is possible.
Yeah, true.
So our thoughts could change
completely different.
Completely. Leading up to the end of the season now, I'm saying Liverpool. Why? Because of the players that they have now, they're on fire. No AFCON, nothing international. Players are back, fit, ready to go. They've won the Carabao Cup. They're coming off a cup win. It's not going to make them tired.
No.
These guys are more confident now. They're saying, right, we've got Carabao Cup. We're going to go more success this season.
Drive for more success.
I'm saying Liverpool this year. And I think it's going to be a Liverpool-Real Madrid final.
Prem season.
As much as I hate to say it, I think City's going to clinch it.
Yeah, because they'll get a few more VAR calls in their way.
I'm going to say it. Definitely
sorry.
It's going to be VAR.
And I hate being one of those fans that'll be like, oh yeah, won the game because of this or that, or start making up excuses. No. Like, sorry, man.
It's typical
2 examples: Wolves and Everton. Done.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think it'll be close, but
there's one thing in my life in football and all that I always do, that I always say, that I have no respect for City and I don't like City whatsoever. I have that respect for Liverpool because of the history that they have. But when I see a City supporter coming out and giving me crap to a team that has been around much more than City, much longer, we've had more success, and to a club for City that's been around for 11 years. I'm going to say 11 years because that's the only success you've ever had. I treat Man City as a small team still. Why? Because 100%. You haven't been in that success that United and Liverpool have, or Arsenal have, or even Chelsea, because they've won 2 Champions Leagues, they've won Premier Leagues and everything.
Yeah, Chelsea.
They fall in the same category as City.
It's less. I reckon Chelsea's success is a lot less tarnished.
Yeah, City have spent more than Chelsea.
Way more. So they've spent an even amount, but Chelsea have done it since 2004.
Yeah.
City have been doing spent the exact same amount in 6-7 years less.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
That's why one thing is when it comes to Manchester City supporters, they can't talk.
Yeah, they
Absolutely.
I
I don't
don't
want
know
a
one
Man
Man
City
City
supporter to come up to me and go, "Oh, Manchester is blue." Hang on a second. Where were you before 2009?
Anyway, let's.
I'm going to have my rant
No.
later on in the other episodes.
My predictions, all right?
Your predictions now.
Let me have a bloody shut, mate.
Oh, bro, when I get going with City, I can't stop.
Anyway, all right, Champions League. Do I say Europa League?
Go for Europa League. Yeah.
Barcelona. I mean, look, not Barcelona. I don't know. Even the Europa League can be really unpredictable. I don't know, but whatever. I think for who's involved in the Europa League, then yeah, Barcelona. But I'll just get rid of that one. Champions League. If we're going to really drive for all the success that we can this season, go for the quadruple, hopefully, then yeah, it should be us. I'm not saying it will be us. It should be us.
Okay.
And then it could be a Liverpool-Madrid final, Liverpool-Munich final. Could even be Atletico final. Yeah, who knows? Because if they come back against you guys, who knows? Prem, I want to say us because, like I said, same reason we should be going for everything now. But if I'm going to sit here and watch highlights of City games and I see more stupid VAR calls, then it's ruined. Whatever. It's Liverpool City. It's been the same thing for how many years now? It's always been that rivalry, Liverpool and City. The best of the best. But yeah, hopefully it's us, man. I really hope it's us. I've got a good friend at work, massive Liverpool fan, and he's been to Istanbul.
No,
he went to Istanbul, and it's he told me himself, like, I can't get too excited. I can't get my head all happy, whatever. Just keep our feet on the ground.
I think Liverpool can clinch one more trophy. I reckon they can clinch one more trophy.
We should have minimum 3 trophies, minimum. Yeah. Because
it's high expectations. Like, I don't blame Liverpool. It's high expectations now. I don't blame them for that.
We've got squad depth. We've got the drive.
No excuses now. Everyone's back.
It is really no excuses right now. We can sit here and say, "Oh, last season, all the injuries and that." I will back it up and say that, like, we've had bloody injuries. We copped it all, and then not only the defensive injuries, midfielders playing in the defense. It was the most retarded season I've ever seen, ever. We've got the squad depth now. 0 excuses. And I will lose my shit if we don't get more than this trophy, more than the Carabao Cup. I will honestly, hand on heart, say that it was a failure. What a season.
Yeah.
No excuses. Nothing. Anyway.
I think we're about done.
Yeah, I think we've said everything we wanted to say, really. And the score is still 1-0 to United, about 25 minutes left.
It's still live, guys. Who scored?
I don't know. You should know, bro. Come on, you know.
Ferdinand, yeah.
What
a game. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway, well, that's the last time that's going to happen. That stupid cutting out, because we are finished. Yeah, man. Any last things you want to say before I wrap it up?
Just I hope everyone has a wonderful week. And we got a lot of things coming up. I'm sure you guys seen on our posts. We've got a lot of new, I would say, channels, new content coming up as well. We'll be segments and all that. We'll be back in the studio soon.
Quickly, George just said Skulls scored, so apparently Skulls scored that game. Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, look, a lot of things are coming up, a lot of exciting things. Thank you so much. And yeah.
Anyway, well, thank you guys so much for watching. I can't even speak English properly. Thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate it. All the sponsors that we want to thank. We've said it how many times. We all know who the sponsors are.
Cheat Day, New
Genesis, DJ, Prodigy. We love you, Peter. And we want to thank your little like, you know, the
Thank you, Vintage Football Shirts as well for this jersey.
and football is culture. Check him out on Instagram.
I'm still waiting on my Roy Keane. So football is culture. If you're watching, I'm still waiting on my Roy Keane jersey.
That's it. Can't wait to put it on. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Appreciate it, and I will see you guys soon. All right.
See you later.
Take care.